The only 7 exercises that elderly Japanese do to never lose strength in their legs again. According to a study published by the Japan Gerontological Society, the Japanese, who are already known for having the highest proportion of centenarians in the world, managed to maintain about 85% of leg strength until 85 years of age. Meanwhile, in Western countries, the average drops more than 40% after 60. It may seem exaggerated, but losing strength in your legs is no joke. As many doctors often say, death begins in the legs. And the Japanese take this saying seriously. They cultivate simple habits and exercises, passed down from generation to generation, that keep the body strong, balanced, and functional even in old age. But before we begin, tell me in the comments your name and how long you have been training. One thing that needs to be made very clear is the warning signs that indicate a decline in your leg strength. These are small, everyday details that many people ignore, but they reveal a significant loss of muscle function. The first sign is when you need support to get up from a chair. Have you noticed that you can no longer get up using only the strength of your legs? Do you need to push yourself up using your hands on the sofa arm or table? This is not normal, regardless of age. A healthy body should be able to sit down and get up using only leg strength, without additional support. The second sign is avoiding floor activities. Many grandparents fear playing with their grandchildren when it involves sitting on the floor. The fear isn't about getting down, but rather not being able to get back up afterward. If you've caught yourself avoiding sitting on the ground for fear of not being able to get back up, it's a strong indication that the strength in your legs is compromised. The third sign is instability on stairs. Do your legs shake when climbing or descending steps? Do you always need to hold on to the railing? Do you feel insecure even on small staircases? This lack of stability and strength when dealing with steps is a warning that cannot be ignored. These signs are the body's first warnings, but the good news is they can be reversed with the right movements. However, if nothing is done, more serious consequences will arise. The risk of falls increases dramatically, fractures become more frequent, and independence, something so valued by the Japanese, begins to be lost. Simple tasks like going to the bathroom or shopping become challenges. Now that you know what you want to avoid, let's move on to the exercises that can transform your health and quality of life. Exercise number 1, Sampa. In Japanese culture, the act of walking is much more than simply moving from one point to another. It's a form of meditation, of connection with one's own body and with the environment. The Japanese call this conscious practice Sampa, which literally means walking and counting. This exercise intensely works all the leg muscles in an integrated manner, while improving proprioception and balance. Elderly Japanese practice Sampa daily, usually in parks or quiet areas, where they can focus completely on the sensation of their steps. To execute it correctly, you should walk slowly, paying meticulous attention to each step. The secret lies in the correct sequence. First, the heel touches the ground, then the middle part of the foot, and finally, the toes propel you into the next step. This technique distributes body weight ideally, reducing impact on the joints and strengthening the entire muscle chain of the leg. A study from Tokyo University followed 2,000 elderly people for 5 years and proved impressive results. Regular practice of Sampa improves circulation in the legs by more than 50%, reduces the risk of falls by 40%, and increases balance by approximately 50%. These are significant numbers for such a simple exercise. The recommendation is to practice for just 3 minutes daily, breathing deeply every 3 steps. This creates a rhythm that calms the mind while strengthening the body. For beginners, start in a hallway of your home, where you can lean on walls if necessary. Over time, increase the distance and practice on different types of surfaces. A common mistake is walking automatically, without awareness. When we practice Sampa, the intention is precisely the opposite. Each step is an exercise in itself. Another frequent mistake is walking too quickly. Remember that we're not seeking cardio, but rather strength, stability, and coordination. Number 2, resting squat. When a Japanese person needs to rest, you will rarely see them sinking into a sofa. Instead, they assume a position that we Westerners consider uncomfortable, the deep, resting squat. This posture, known as squat rest or Asian squat, is as natural for them as sitting in a chair is for us. The resting squat intensely works the quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and core, while maintaining full mobility in the ankle and hip joints. It's a complete exercise that strengthens exactly the muscles needed to get up from the floor or from chairs without support. What many people don't know is that chairs and sofas, although comfortable, go directly against how our body evolved. For thousands of years, humans rested in a squatting position, not sitting on furniture. This recent change in evolutionary terms has caused atrophy in leg muscles and decreased joint mobility. To execute it correctly, position your feet slightly wider than shoulder width, with toes pointing slightly outward. Slowly lower until your buttocks almost touch the ground, keeping your heels on the floor. Your back should remain straight, not curved. Breathe deeply while maintaining the position. For beginners, start by holding onto a stable piece of furniture, such as a table, and try to maintain the squat for 20 seconds. Progressively increase to 1 minute and eventually to 2 to 3 minutes. Elderly Japanese often maintain this position for 5 to 10 minutes while conversing or observing nature. Besides strengthening the legs, the resting squat promotes better blood circulation, facilitates digestion, and develops strong mental self-control. It's an exercise that works both the body and the mind, perfectly reflecting the holistic Japanese philosophy of health. A frequent mistake is raising the heels during the squat. If you cannot keep your feet fully supported on the floor, place a small support under your heels while working on your mobility. Another mistake is excessively curving your back, which transfers tension to the lower back region. Number 3. One-legged balance. The third exercise may seem simple at first glance, but is considered fundamental in traditional Japanese training for the elderly. Standing supported on just one leg, known as ippon dachi in Japanese martial arts, is a powerful trainer of balance and strength. This exercise intensely works the stabilizers of the ankle and knee, strengthens the core, and dramatically improves proprioception, the body's ability to perceive its position in space. The deep muscles of the leg, which are rarely activated in conventional exercises, constantly work to maintain balance. What makes this exercise particularly valuable is that it trains reflexes and creates new neural pathways, preparing the body to react quickly to stumbles and instabilities in daily life. A Japanese study showed that regular practice of this exercise reduces hip fractures by 60%, decreases falls at home by 40%, and increases confidence in the elderly by 80%. To execute it correctly, start near a wall or table for support. Stand with parallel feet, transfer weight to one leg, and slowly lift the other off the ground. Try to keep your gaze fixed on one point to aid balance. Breathe normally and keep your core slightly contracted. For beginners, start with 10 to 15 seconds on each leg, always using support. As you progress, gradually increase to 30 seconds without support. The ultimate goal is to maintain balance for 60 seconds on each leg. Alternate between legs and perform 3 repetitions for each side. You'll know you're doing it right when you feel slight fatigue in the calf and thigh muscles of the supporting leg. Over time, this sensation will decrease and your stability will significantly increase. A common mistake is lifting the leg too high, which destabilizes the body. The goal is not height, but stability. Another frequent mistake is tensing the shoulders and neck. Keep the upper body relaxed while the legs do the work. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Having constant access to science-based information is what will help you progress with long-term health in the world of bodybuilding. Number 4. Butterfly stretch. This fourth exercise may seem more like a stretch than a strengthener, but in the Japanese system of physical conditioning, flexibility and strength are inseparable. The butterfly stretch, known as anza, or adapted lotus posture, is practiced daily by elderly Japanese to maintain hip mobility and strengthen the inner thigh region. The butterfly stretch primarily works the adductors and hip flexors, muscles frequently neglected but essential for stability when walking and climbing stairs. This position also promotes better circulation in the pelvic region and relieves tension in the lower back. What many people don't know is that this exercise is widely used in the warm-up rituals of various martial arts and in traditional Japanese gymnastics. Elderly martial arts masters maintain this position for long periods to preserve the hip flexibility needed for advanced techniques. To execute it correctly, sit on the floor with a straight back. Join the soles of your feet, holding them with your hands, and gently pull the heels toward your body. Keep your knees dropped to the sides without forcing them. The posture should be comfortable and stable, without causing pain. For beginners, start by sitting on a firm cushion to slightly elevate the hip, which facilitates the position. Maintain for 30 seconds and gradually increase to 2 to 3 minutes. Breathe deeply during the exercise, relaxing a little more with each exhalation. A common mistake is excessively curving the back, which decreases the effectiveness of the exercise and can cause lower back discomfort. Keep the spine elongated and the chest open. Another frequent mistake is forcing the knees downward. Relaxation should be gradual, never forced. Remember that this is not an all-or-nothing exercise. The benefits come from regular practice, regardless of how close to the floor your knees can get. Elderly Japanese value consistency above intensity, practicing daily even if for short periods. Number 5. Wall squat. The fifth exercise is a perfect example of the Japanese philosophy of strengthening the body without damaging it. The wall squat, known as Kabe squat in Japan, is considered one of the safest and most effective exercises to develop strength in the legs without impact on the joints. This exercise intensely works the quadriceps, glutes, and core, precisely the muscles needed to get up from chairs and climb stairs. What makes it special is its isometric nature, a sustained contraction without joint movement. A study from Kyoto University demonstrated that isometric exercises such as the wall squat increase muscle strength in the elderly by up to 14% after just 8 weeks of practice, without causing the joint stress associated with dynamic exercises. The Japanese particularly value this type of exercise not only for its physical benefit, but also for mental development. To execute it correctly, position yourself with your back against a wall, feet shoulder width apart, and about 30 inches in front. Slowly slide down until forming an angle close to 90 degrees at the knees, as if sitting in an invisible chair. Keep knees aligned with ankles, never in front of the toes. For beginners, start by maintaining the position for 15 to 20 seconds and gradually increase to 60 seconds. Elderly Japanese typically perform 3 daily sets of 30 to 60 seconds each. If 90 degrees is too intense, start with a smaller angle and progress as you gain strength. A common mistake is letting the knees project too far forward, which increases tension in this joint. Another frequent mistake is holding your breath during the exercise. Breathe normally, keeping the abdomen slightly contracted for lower back support. The beauty of this exercise lies in its ability to strengthen not only the legs, but also mental resistance and resilience. The Japanese consider that the ability to remain motionless in a challenging position trains both body and mind to face discomforts in everyday life. Number 6. Sitting down and getting up from the floor. This sixth exercise is considered by many experts the ultimate test of functional youth, regardless of chronological age. In Japan, the ability to sit down and get up from the floor without support is seen as a crucial indicator of health and longevity. The exercise works virtually all leg muscle groups simultaneously: quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, adductors, as well as the core and stabilizers. What makes it unique is that it requires strength, flexibility, balance, and coordination at the same time, creating a complete muscle synergy. A surprising Brazilian study followed 2,000 elderly people for 13 years and discovered something impressive. Those who could sit and get up from the floor using little or no support lived, on average, 7 years longer than those who needed a lot of support. This is considered one of the most accurate tests of functional longevity ever developed. To execute it correctly, start standing and sit on the floor in a controlled manner, using as little support as possible. Then, get up again, also trying to avoid using your hands. The movement should be fluid and controlled, without sudden movements. For beginners, this exercise may seem challenging, so start with adaptations. First, practice sitting on a low bed or sofa, then progress to cushions on the floor. Next, try using only the support of one hand on a table, then just one finger, and finally, without support. Don't rush. This progression may take weeks or months, depending on your initial level. It is recommended to practice this exercise daily, starting with 3 to 5 repetitions and gradually increasing. Elderly Japanese often include this movement naturally in their daily lives, sitting on the floor to meditate, eat, or socialize, making the exercise part of their lifestyle. A common mistake is descending in an uncontrolled manner, which can cause impact on the joints. Another frequent mistake is always using the same side to go down and up, alternate sides to develop balanced strength. Number 7. Heel raises. The last exercise is often considered the most underestimated in leg strengthening. Heel raises, practiced daily. In Japanese temples and schools, specifically work the calves, fundamental muscles for balance and propulsion when walking. This exercise intensely works the gastrocnemius and soleus, the two main calf muscles. What makes this exercise particularly valuable is that the calf is considered the second heart of the body, helping to pump blood from the legs back to the heart against the force of gravity. To execute it correctly, stand with feet parallel at shoulder width. Slowly raise yourself onto your tiptoes, keeping your body erect, and then descend in a controlled manner. For greater amplitude and better muscle work, try doing the exercise on a step, allowing the heels to descend below the level of the toes. The Japanese value this exercise not only for the strength it develops, but also for its circulatory benefits. By strengthening the calves, you significantly improve circulation in the legs, reducing problems such as varicose veins and ankle swelling, common in older people. For beginners, start with 2 sets of 15 repetitions, holding onto a wall or stable piece of furniture for support. Progressively increase to 3 sets of 20 repetitions. When this becomes easy, try performing the exercise on just one leg at a time, which significantly increases the intensity. For those seeking greater challenge, gradually add weight. It could be a water bottle in your hands or a light backpack on your back. This progression is especially valued in Japanese culture, where consistent training throughout life is more important than quick results. A common mistake is swinging the body or using momentum to rise. The movement should be controlled and conscious, using only the strength of the calves. Another frequent mistake is not rising high enough. Aim for the maximum possible elevation of the heels. If you enjoyed this and also want to discover another exercise widely practiced in Asian communities to heal years of neglect of your own body, we've left a video appearing right now on the screen showing better what this movement is that can save your spine from years of poor posture at the office and also on the sofa. Don't miss it. Thank you for watching this far, and may God bless you, my friend.